Segment with Tom Pelissero, all the news and notes from around the league, and we've been following this one seemingly for months now, Tom. Odell Beckham Jr. finally getting in those team visits. What's the latest you can tell on OBJ as we speak?
Well, more, I think Giants coach Brian Daboll has been asked every day for a couple of weeks about Odell. Well, he finally walked to the podium today and opened things up by saying, yes, he did have dinner last night, among others, with Odell Beckham Jr., said it was a good meal. Very nice steak. Odell is back in the building this morning meeting with some other people from the team. The expectation now here over the next several days that Odell is going to travel from New York to upstate New York and to Buffalo to visit the Bills next. Then after heading home, there's going to be a visit set up on Monday with the Dallas Cowboys. Coach Mike McCarthy said that Will McClay, their top personnel man, organized all the logistics in terms of that and the itinerary for the day. And then it's going to be decision time. Now, obviously, there's more to it than simply getting to know Odell and him picking his spot. There's medical, there are physicals that need to be done, and then obviously there is the contract as well. So still some moving parts here, but certainly after months of anticipation, Omar, we seem to be narrowing in on figuring out exactly where OBJ is going to land.
Yeah, we are getting closer. We had the same situation last year when OBJ was looking to sign with the team after getting released by Cleveland. It'll be fun to watch here in the next few days. Tom, meanwhile, Justin Fields, banged up shoulder, missed last week against the Jets. What's the latest on his status heading into this week?
Well, the good news, Omar, is Justin Fields was listed as a full participant in Thursday's practice. That is the first time that has happened since he first suffered that left shoulder injury that he has described as an AC joint injury. Teammates and coaches have said this week that Justin Fields looks like Justin Fields in practice. Certainly seems, and we'll monitor his status, exactly how the Bears tab him on the injury report, how much he participates in practice today, but seems to be tracking toward Fields returning to the lineup for an NFC North showdown against the Packers, who anticipate they will also have their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, in action. In other injury news, the Jaguars expect that Travis Etienne, who left last week's game because of a foot injury, will be good to go. That according to Doug Peterson. Etienne, of course, had the Lisfranc injury that caused him to miss his entire rookie season. He has emerged as a big-time dynamic piece of that Jaguars offense that is just coming off of a big win a week ago. Certainly sounds optimistic, according to Peterson, that Etienne will indeed be out there as the Jaguars try to maintain relevancy here, albeit on the outside of the AFC playoff picture when they take on the Lions.
Yeah, meanwhile, the AFC Championship rematch, the Bengals are surging in the standings and now potentially get Jamar Chase back. What's the latest on their superstar receiver?
Well, Omar, everything this week has sounded positive about Jamar Chase returning from that hip injury this weekend for a huge game against the Chiefs. And Zach Taylor backed that up when he spoke to reporters about an hour ago, saying that everything is tracking that direction for Chase to be back on the field. And Chase himself has told coaches and the media that he expects he is going to be good to go. As for running back Joe Mixon, according to Zach Taylor, is still in the concussion protocol as of now. But Taylor said they are monitoring every 12 hours here in terms of updates on Mixon's status. He has practiced on a limited basis since Wednesday. That's all part of the concussion protocol. The final steps are being fully cleared for all football activity, having your body respond well, being back at your baseline on the concussion exams, and then an independent neurologist makes the final call. That could happen all the way up until Sunday morning, Omar, so we're going to be monitoring that one closely here over the next 48 hours or so.
Yeah, the talent on the field anyway makes this a must-see game, but given all the trash talk this week leading up to it, adds spice, of course, to this AFC Championship. Frustration boiling over for the Patriots. We saw some reaction from Mac Jones. Here's his explanation of that after the game.
Obviously, just kind of let my emotions get to me, but you know, we're kind of playing from behind, and what I said was about throwing it deeper in the short game. You know, I got to execute that part better, but it's the short game that we kept going to, which is working. But I felt like we needed chunk plays, and you know, I shouted that out to kind of get everyone going.
Obviously only 24 points, but our defense played fantastic ball where we didn't feel like we had to press and make any mistakes. Obviously, there's a few plays that we'd like to have back. But again, these are good wins in division, away. It's hard to win this league, so we'll learn from this one, move on.
From our standpoint, you know, we've lost games because we kind of like didn't really figure it out, or we weren't executing at a high level. As we proceed and as an offense, you just want to figure out ways to win. Even if you win in left-handed, right-handed with your best stuff, and then you got to mix it up with stuff that you've been working on. And, it's kind of like I guess a melting pot of so many things that you just want to go in with a win, figure out ways to win.
So the Bills facing up to that gauntlet. For more on this matchup, we welcome in Steve Wyche and Judy Batista. We saw the Bills lose 2 in a row. Then they played those 3 games in 12 days, all 3 away from home because that Browns game moving over to Detroit. So, Steve, when you look at this Bills team getting hot at the right time, what was your takeaway from last night?
Yeah, especially playing on a Thursday night on the road, you're not always going to see perfection. But the way they dominated, right? The score's not going to say they dominated New England, but they dominated the Patriots on both sides of the ball, specifically on offense. I mean, when you look at the time of possession alone, 38 minutes to 22, that's moving the chains. That's taking what they give you, right? Playing underneath if you have to. Some of those catches by Diggs with tight coverage and just lasers by Josh Allen were just amazing. And the touchdown throw across his body was amazing. But when you see the domination that Buffalo decided just to exercise on New England, it lets you know, like, hey, we're here. We're not going anywhere. We're a good team. And this is the type of football we know we have to play going into the football, Judy. The way they ran it against a very good defense. Again, the way they continue to possess the ball against a very good defense goes to show you that Buffalo is still very much alive as a potential contender to come out of the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, they were 9 of 15 on third downs. They are the only team, the Bills, that have run the ball for at least 100 yards in every game this season. And I think, we think of the Bills as sort of a big play offense, right? Josh Allen has the cannon for the arm. He can throw downfield. But they can also grind it out and grind the clock, as you saw in that drive that took, 9 minutes off the clock, 94 yards, 15 plays. They grind it, they score, and then you turn around and the Patriots couldn't do anything when they got the ball back. That is so dispiriting. They really just sucked the life out of the Patriots with the way they were able to stay on the field. They took advantage of their red zone opportunities. And even on this just incredible touchdown pass by Josh Allen, he's made some mistakes in the red zone this year. He's turned the ball over. And so you see that he's about to try this pass and you're going, oh, no, don't do that. And then, of course, it's this miraculous highlight reel play. That's why you don't want to rein Josh Allen in too much. This was a really impressive victory against what is a very good Patriots defense, and they made that defense look very ordinary last night.
Yeah, the story for the Patriots, meanwhile, their offense, a week after seemingly getting it together against the Vikings, they cannot follow that up with a consistent performance. Judy, what did you notice from that side of the ball from New England?
I think I noticed what everybody else noticed. First of all, Mac Jones airing that frustration in the middle of the game, and then even comments after the game. You can tell the frustration level with this offense is very high. I go back to the wisdom of Richard Sherman, who at halftime of the Prime Video halftime show said, your offense can't be like taking the guy from defense, your speed guy from defense, and running one lucky play. That can't be your offense. And Tony Gonzalez followed that up saying, they have weapons. Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, get the ball to those guys. They are not getting the ball to those guys. This has been a story all season. I can remember Mike Giardi being at training camp and talking about how the offense was sputtering in practices. And you say, well, they'll play their way into it. They haven't played their way into it. It's December. It is a big problem.
Yeah, Judy, I mean, what about some of the players? You mentioned Mac Jones, but Kendrick Bourne, the wide receiver, going the very unpatriotic way and criticizing some of the things, and to kind of, surmise his quote, basically saying the defense calls its play, we call our play, and it plays right into what the defense called. Like there's no creativity, there's no adjustments. I think it was for this game, particularly though, because when Bill Belichick came out and said post game and today, it kind of goes opponent by opponent. Sometimes the offense looks good, sometimes it doesn't. Last night it absolutely doesn't, but the overall functionality and consistency of this offense, just really not good. And for players to actually come out and kind of have something to say about the calls and the coaching, a little different in Patriot land these days.
Yeah, certainly third down, no matter who you're playing, not going to cut it. What the Patriots did last night, just 3 of 12. If they can't stay on the field, can't get that offense in rhythm, and it showed last night. Steve, Judy, much more from you throughout the show.